The New Orleans Saints are coming off of a heartbreaking loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, and there are a number of reasons why the Saints lost this game. But the number one reason is they just could not move the ball on offense. And it was a bit surprising because the Eagles came into this game allowing more than 6 yards per rush attempt to opposing offenses. And of course, we know the Saints were running all over teams the first couple weeks. But in this game against the Eagles, they were held to only 89 total rushing yards. Now, it didn't help, of course, that Eric McCoy, the Saints center, got hurt early in this one, and that pretty much just changed everything because he sets the tone. He is by far their best offensive lineman, so of course losing him was huge. And another big loss was Taysom Hill. He did not play in this game, and he is a big part of what the Saints do on offense. But also have to give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Their defensive line was phenomenal. Jalen Carter pretty much wrecked this game himself. But let's get into the film, see some of the mistakes that were made, and maybe how they can fix them moving forward. All right, first play I want to take a look at here. This is the very first play of the game. The Saints are going to run what is called Zorro. This is just a wide zone, outside zone lead from the fullback to the strong side. The tight end and the fullback are going to double team the defensive end or outside linebacker. And everybody on this play really does a nice job. Okay. Um, other than Trevor Penning, right? And this play really set the tone for how the entire day was going to go in terms of, running the football, really the whole offensive performance. So, we got the fullback again, double teaming with the tight end. They do a good job. We got Cesar Ruiz, who actually does a really good job over here. Eric McCoy reaches his guy. Lucas Patrick, boom, able to get a little bit of bond right here. But Trevor Penning, all right? Trevor Penning over here, whiffs on the first level, falls to the ground, and then the linebacker scrapes right beside him, and he's able to be there for the tackle. Now, if Trevor Penning is able to at least, you can whiff on the first level, obviously not ideal, but Cesar Ruiz was there for the overtake. But let's not fall on the ground, man. At least get a piece of this linebacker right here, because if we can get a piece of this linebacker right here, this is the only guy in the hole right now. I mean, he ends up making the tackle. He's the only guy in the hole. If we get a piece of him, could at least get, maybe 4, 5, 6 yards rather than 1 or 2. So not the best play to, start the game off. All right, this next play here, this is tough to watch because we're going to get Olave on this crosser. He's going to be wide open. Okay, we're going to have Shaheed on this kind of fake corner post. And we're going to get Mason Tipton on this little shallow that's going to hold these linebackers along with the play action fake. But unfortunately, Derek Carr is under almost immediate pressure. Not almost, he is under an immediate pressure by Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter just beats Cesar Ruiz almost immediately off the snap. Also has some edge pressure over there on the left side from a twist that did not get picked up properly. But I mean, as you can see, play fake. We're at the top of our drop. Guy's already in our face. Literally no time to do anything. If we pick up this stunt over here and Cesar Ruiz don't get whooped, check out Olave right here in the middle of the screen. He is going to be wide open, but Carr has to get rid of it quickly. I mean, you can see Olave. He knows too. He knows he's throwing his hands up in the air. So let's check it out from the end zone view. The little motion, play fake, and I mean, look, like we're not even at the top of our drop yet, and Cesar Ruiz is already beat. Let's see. It's like he goes for a jump set, but he's leaning. We can't block with our head down like that. Jalen Carter just swims over the top. And over here on the right side, or the left side of the offensive line, this is a new guy right here. Udo, I believe is how you spell his name. Coming in for Lucas Patrick, who slid over to center. And so these two don't have many reps together, right? So when it comes to these stunts, got the ET, and they just don't pass it off. All right, next play I want to look at here. This is going to be on a run to Kamara that goes for negative yards. And this is the problem when you go against this style of Vic Fangio defense. He likes to employ a lot of 5-man fronts. He also went to the 6-1 look a lot, so where you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Same thing, but that Bill Belichick did in the Super Bowl to stop that Rams offense. But Vic Fangio, he likes these 5-man fronts, okay? And the Saints are going to be in 11 personnel here, so 1 running back, 1 tight end. And when you have these 5-man fronts, it limits the double teams that the offensive line are going to be able to employ on the first level, right? So we're going to run this thing to the right, and we have straight one-on-ones over here. No double teams. Okay, and one of those is with a tight end. Just you can see Trevor Penning just gets beat here, right? Hat on the wrong side, not on the play side, and just gets bull rushed into the backfield, knocks Kamara back, and loss of three, right? So that's one thing that I was kind of worried about coming into this game, despite the numbers from the Philadelphia Eagles defense, despite how bad they've played so far. They have some talent on the defensive line, and the fronts that Vic Fangio likes to employ gives zone based schemes problems because again, it creates a lot of one-on-one matchups, and when you get one-on-one matchups, stuff like this happens and you end up getting negative yards on the carry. All right, this time we're going to get deep dig, post. We're going to have the fullback coming in the flat, and then we're going to get Alvin Kamara on his little Texas route, angle route, whatever you want to call it. So, again, guys are going to be open, but just like earlier, what happens? Instant pressure. I mean, the plays were there to be made, but there was just no time to make them. I mean, right when we get the top of our drop, again, we have Jalen Carter right in Derek Carr's face, coming straight towards him. Just no time to do anything. And, anytime you get this guy, this guy, this guy, all looking back at this guy, that's not the direction they're supposed to be looking in. Okay. So if you get this, something went horribly wrong and ends up being a sack. Now, would he have thrown this to Olave or excuse me, Shaheed? Maybe, right? He did have this safety coming towards him, but he probably has time to fit this in there. You got the fullback in the flat, and you also have AK on his route out of the backfield, who he's going to beat this linebacker. Let's be honest, but can't do any of that when again we have a big 300-pound defensive lineman crushing us. All right, next one here, first down and 10. Saints are going to try to get to a screen pass, but again, Cesar Ruiz, right guard, gets beat almost instantly. And, you know, I get it, right? On a screen pass, you're supposed to allow the defenders up the field, but you got to hold them at least enough time to where the quarterback can get the ball off, right? We don't want to get beat this soon. And I mean, even if we're able to get this thing off, it's probably snuffed out by this linebacker up here. But still, I mean, like, let's at least give our guy a chance to get the ball off, man. I mean, tell you what, guys, Cesar Ruiz, this is one of the worst games that he's had in his career, and he has had some bad ones. Take this thing to the end zone view. Motion, play action. I mean, it's just ridiculous how fast Derek Carr was under pressure. Next play here, third down and 2, second quarter. And this play is just a good symbol of how the day went. I like the play design, right? We're going to get a fake handoff to AK. First of all, we got these tight splits down here at the bottom, right? Check out how tight the tight end is here, lined up, receivers tight. It forces the defense to really think about what the offense is going to do, okay? Because since the receivers are split so far down tight, if they were to play like over top of them, that leaves all this space out here for, out routes, corners, things of that nature. So what they have to do is they have to play with a little bit of outside leverage. So this guy, Blankenship, I believe it is going to have the tight end and man to man right here. And, because of these splits, he has to at least cheat outside just a little bit because, again, you got all this space out here that he would have to cover if the tight end decided to, go for an outbreaking route. But again, I like the design of this play. We're going to fake it to AK, get his man out of the way, right? This guy is in man to man with Alvin Kamara. That moves him out of the throwing lane, out of the throwing window. And again, the safety, because of the leverage here, he's already beat by the tight end, and the play was there. Again, it's just third and 2, but it gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. So, again, like I said earlier, the plays were there to be made today. It wasn't a poorly called game at all, in my opinion. It's just things like this, batted balls down, instant pressure on the quarterback. It just wasn't the Saints' day. And the funny thing is, that's not even the worst thing to happen on this play. I mean, we could take it here to the end zone view. check out the right guard and the left guard. Okay. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know, man. Is that supposed to happen? I don't know. I'm not in the I'm not in the coach. I'm not in the film room with them. I'm not their offensive line coach, but I would say that's probably not supposed to happen. This next one here, it only goes for a few yards, but I mean, again, just instant pressure on the quarterback. He does a good job of doing what he can and just, backpedals until the tight end comes open. But I mean, like, yeah, Eric McCoy is out. I get that. But if this is what's going to happen when Eric McCoy goes out, oh man. I don't, first of all, I don't like this, okay? I don't like him being back over here because he struggles enough, man. Just leave him somewhere, please. I don't need these tackle overplays. Yes, it's creative, but when you're limited with who you got to work with, you got to also be limited in what you call. And I mean, he gets beat by Zach Bond over here. Ironically enough, right? Didn't they get into a fight in training camp a couple years ago? I don't know. But typical Penny, he oversets right here. Boom, gets beat inside. Pressure on Carr. But again, nice shot from Carr. At least backpedaling to, get what he can out of it. Next one here, another run play that goes absolutely nowhere. And again, it's him again, Jalen Carter, right? Absolute game wrecker for the Eagles. Um, just he destroyed any plans that the Saints had in running the ball or passing it, for the most part. But if you're Cesar Ruiz here, and we know we're running outside zone, and we have a guy, a G or a two, if you want to call it, a head up guy, we got to help our center. We know this is not Eric McCoy here. This is Lucas Patrick bumping over from the left guard spot. We know we're running outside zone. We know there's got to be some kind of combo between these two. If you're Cesar Ruiz, we can't just ignore 98 here. We have to help our backup center. Expecting him, the backup center, again, to reach a player that is lined up head up on the right guard is just, it's unrealistic. And, you see what happens, right? We leave him alone. Yeah, he gives him a little hand, like a little that, but that's just not enough. Again, we got to know the situation we're in with a backup center. Lucas Patrick honestly has no chance right there, and it's not a slight on Patrick. It's just it's an incredibly difficult block to make, even for a guy like Eric McCoy. So I mean, as soon as we get the handoff, we're getting tackled, and you know, I don't know, just got to do better than that up front from the right side of the offensive line. All right, next one, and this one hurts, man. This one hurts to watch. 3rd down and 8, second quarter, 4 minutes till halftime. Motion the tight end over outside. We're gonna have Shaheed on the out and up. Same thing with Olave, out and up. And then we're going to have Tipton sitting over the middle on a little hook, tight end, flat route, whatever. Um, this is a touchdown with a better ball. But again, like we've been talking about all day, like right here, this is open. And yeah, it's a good job of the DB recovering to catch up, but the ball was underthrown because of the pressure. And I don't know, it's really unfortunate because like I said, with a better ball, that's a touchdown, but you can't really put it on the quarterback because of the pressure. All right, remember this is a backup left guard, obviously rookie left tackle, and the Eagles are going to run a little ET stunt. This guy's going to go inside, this guy comes outside, and unfortunately it works. Again, because these two don't have a lot of reps together. They're not used to passing these things off with each other, communicating it mid rep, things like that. So when they run this stunt, he's able to get through, put the pressure on the quarterback. And I mean, again, like where does the pressure come? Okay, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carr's at the top of his drop. He can't even get a hitch in to make this throw. And that's all he would have needed to make this throw into a touchdown. Guaranteed it. I mean, we've seen him hit Shaheed on this multiple times. But I mean, when you're at the top of your drop and you can't even hitch one time without a defender in your face, you just have no chance. Really unfortunate again, but it is what it is. All right, next play here. Shaheed down here out and up against Darius Slay. And to be honest, this is really good coverage. Um, Derek does a nice job of getting this ball off and at least giving him a chance. But again, the pressure, man, the pressure, the instant pressure. Jalen Carter, this guy. I mean, I've said it a million times already. This guy wrecked the Saints. Watch, I mean, right off the bat, boom, rip under. I mean, it's just, I don't know. The Saints better get it fixed quick with Eric McCoy out, or it could get pretty ugly. Right at the snap, top of his drop, guy's already in his face. But again, it really does a nice job of at least getting the thing off and giving Shaheed a chance. But I mean, the pressure was just unreal yesterday. All right, next one here. Now, note the scoreboard: 3rd and 11, fourth quarter, 3-7. Okay, let's see. I don't really get this because we got a good play call. Go ball, out, Jawan Johnson post, and then we're gonna have Tipton over here motion and run a little whip. And Jawan Johnson is gonna come open over the middle. Now Derek Carr is under pressure, but he does have enough time to get the ball out. But we choose to throw short of the sticks. Now I don't know. I don't know what his primary read on this is. To me, it looks like it's Tipton because that's who he looks at the entire time. But it just doesn't make sense to throw this short of the sticks on 3rd and 11 unless you plan on kicking a field goal. Or excuse me, unless you plan on going for it, right? Because again, like, let's see, we're at the top of our drop, and we know now this tight end is going to come wide open. Let's rip it to him. I mean, there's going to be nobody around him right here. Yeah, the pressure's in your face, but you're throwing it now to Tipton when you could be throwing it now to Jawan Johnson. And again, I don't know what Carr's primary read on this play is, but to me, why throw it short of the sticks if you're not going to go for it? And I don't mind kicking the field goal and getting the 3 points and having it be 6-7. It's a little questionable, like, what we're doing here. But nonetheless, we throw the ball, get the completion, set up a shorter field goal. Maybe, look, defensive head coach, maybe that's what they were trying to do, right? Set up a shorter field goal to make it a closer game. But in my mind, like, I'm not going to throw short of the sticks in a fourth quarter of a game this close. I'm going to try to get the first down. And then as far as up front, I mean, we get beat at left guard instantly. Ain't nothing fancy to it. Just got our butt whooped at left guard. Pressure on the quarterback. But again, I feel like you can see Jawan Johnson in this frame coming wide open. But again, I don't know his primary read. So it could just be tipped in all the way to get to a shorter field goal. All right, next one. This is on the 2-point conversion after they scored a touchdown. Score is now 7-12. If we get this 2-point conversion, they have 14, and this ends up being a whole different ball game. And the play is there, right? We're just going to run this little pick right up here with Olave. He's going to wall these guys off, and then going to hit Williams in the flat. They tried to go quick, and they did, and it was there. It's just a bad ball. Boom, boom, ball's out, low and away. It's just a bad throw. That's all there is to it here. I mean, if we put this thing out here in front of him, or at least not at his knees, way better chance of converting it. But we get a bad ball, and we live with, the touchdown without the 2-point conversion, and we know how it ended up. All right, next one and final one here. This is the last play of the game, the interception. Scores 12-15 with 55 seconds left, and 2nd down and 10. And really unfortunate because the Saints had plenty of time here to get down for a field goal at least to try and tie it. Maybe a long one, but we kind of just panic into an interception right here. We just can't throw this ball. We just cannot throw this ball. I understand we're getting absolutely pummeled by multiple defenders, but man, like, throw it away, like, throw it at the ground near receiver. Take the sack even. Obviously, a sack is even better at this point than throwing this ball. And, maybe if the protection holds up, Olave comes open down here. But I mean, the protection just wasn't there for that. But, a sack pretty much ends the game. But a interception, obviously, for sure ends the game. And we'll take a look at it, from the end zone view here. Eagles are going to walk their linebackers up here, so we're threatening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But guess what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in protection. Okay, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, It is a problem when everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of our guys lose their one on ones. I'm not sure what the left guard thought he was doing here. I mean, he engages. Maybe he thought the center was there to help, but the slide went the opposite way, so the center was not there. So the left guard has a brain fart. Let's see. Maybe he thought the bond he had to absorb bond. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Either way, left guard gets beat. Juwan Johnson out there on the edge gets beat, but I mean that's you're asking a tight end to block somebody one on one. Penning gets beat around the edge. Cesar Ruiz is just being Cesar Ruiz. Yeah, so just a horrific rep all around from the line here. And Carr is who he is. Throws an interception into double coverage, a ball that just shouldn't have been thrown. Tough game for the Saints. Moral of the story: got whooped in the trenches, couldn't run the ball, couldn't do what they needed to do, didn't capitalize on multiple turnovers. Turnovers aren't downs, blocked punts. They lost the game. It is what it is. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.